Hello my friends, and welcome to this pick a card reading, which is about what your inner child wants to tell you right now. And there are 4 piles here. I've got pile 1, pile 2, pile 3 and pile 4. I've used the 6 of Cups to signify kind of a marker for this reading. So this is the Art of Adventure Tarot, pile 1. Pile 2, this is the Joe Sparrow Tarot. The Joe Sparrow Tarot, pile 2. This is pile 3, the Star Spinners Tarot. And this is pile 4. The Mystic Mondays Tarot. So, see which one of those resonate with you. You can pause the video. You can also rewind and pause it at each point where I lift up the cards. But take a look. Pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, and pile 4. Timestamps will be in the description box below, and I'll see your reading. Hello pile 1, and welcome to your reading. You have chosen the Art of Adventure Tarot, and with this particular 6 of Cups. So it's interesting because traditionally the 6 of Cups is affiliated with childhood memories, but out of all of the decks, this is the only one that does actually have children and an actual seaside scene, something that actually kind of correlates with a childhood memory. So I think there may be some of you that are actually like specifically kind of, going with that, sense of remembering something as a child. And this sense of this part of your child, inner child, is speaking to you as opposed to a characteristic. There may be an actual memory that is coming up to the surface. And I know that the cups are water anyway, but we do actually here have an element of water. We have the sea, and the sea is something that's very up and down. It's not something that we can control. It's kind of its own entity in the sense that it's apologies for any kind of outside noise that you hear. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, it's its own entity. It's its own kind of, it's uncontrollable. So things, and the sense of freedom with children as well is that they're just exploring, they're just doing their own thing, they're just going about their own, their own kind of business, trying to explore, doing things. So there's that sense of exploration that's going on here with this particular 6. Also, in the respect of the deck itself, it is called the Art of Adventure Tarot. So it's about you seeking adventure. So there's something about your inner child wanting to say that to you. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to place that there for the meantime, and then I will introduce it back into the deck to excuse me, to use in the reading. Okay, so let's see what the archetype cards have to say. Dear Spirit, for group 1, what does their inner child want to say to them? What does pile 1's inner child want to say to them? Ooh. Wow, the animal. Yeah, there's this very primal kind of vibe that's going on. I definitely feel that with the sea. It's almost like this sense of innocence as well. There's a real innocent kind of vibe going on. Primal. Going back to nature. And we have, that's 19 and then 6. So that's interesting. 10, 6. Right, okay. Yeah, there's something about coming back to the coming back to something. Obviously, you know, the whole idea of looking at our inner child is about remembering those things. But more so when we are, I don't know, there's something that's a bit more innate. There's something that's a bit more about the instincts that's residing here. Something a little bit more primal. Maybe you enjoyed being an animal when you were young. Maybe you played at being like you know, when you're a kid and you have games. Maybe you played at being dogs or cats or something like that. I see like a lot of nature in the respect of like maybe you played a lot in nature. And nature is very important to you, group 1. Okay, dear Spirit, what does pile 1's inner child want to say to them? You've got 2 here. Wow, you've got Chiron and Venus. So the part of you that desires beauty, success, indulgence and valuables. And then your healing power with Chiron, empathy and ability. Okay, so the wounded healer. Okay, right. So let's keep on going with the oracle cards. Sorry, pile 1, I get hay fever. I don't know if some of you read my readings, but I get hay fever. I also something said to me, go and get this like rock for you, this shell for you. So I'm just going to place that there. And it's beautiful because you've got this like gorgeous pearlescent kind of beautiful inside here. So, ooh. Okay. Right, so I will go ahead with the Spirit. What does pile 1's inner child want to say to them? The Spirit, only 1, please. Looks like a lot your inner child wants to say to you, pile 1. Yeah, a lot. Thank you. Friendship. Wow. Do you know what I get, pile 1? I get like childhood memories of playing with friends. That's what I see, particularly with this one here as well. With this card. And you got a lot of love from that. In fact, it may be a source of your healing. Like something that really helps you to heal yourself in remembering those times of when you were able to do something like this. When you were able to connect with that part of yourself. Connect to who you are. Connect to your essence. Yeah. And then one more and then we will move on to the tarot. Dear Spirit, what does pile... Look, see, yeah, you want to say a lot. There's a lot. It's almost like I feel like this tumbling over, you know. Dear Spirit, what does pile 1's inner child want to say to them? Frog. Oh my God. Leapfrogging, childhood memories, school, things like that. School holidays. That's what I'm feeling right now for you. That excitement about going away and doing things and just being able to be outside. Playing in the sand, playing in the woods, playing around. You loved it. It was something, this is something you love. And also you were able to, you may have even liked splashing in puddles and things like that. There may have been a sense where you did like things like, you know, hide and seek, building dens, things like that. That's what I get from this pile. So there's something about you remembering that part of yourself that needs to come into play. Because it's really important with the frog. The frog needs that moisture in order to survive. Because if it doesn't have that moisture, it dies. So there's a part, and it's interesting how we have the eye here as well, and the eye here looking towards that way. Very specific, like that look. And there is an eye here looking at us as well. But it's almost like this movement towards this way, particularly with Chiron guiding as well towards the green. So there's something about you being in nature that's very important for you. It's exceptionally healing, and it brings you back to your inner child. Let's see what the tarot has to say about this situation. So, dear Spirit, what does Pile 1's inner child want to say to them right now? What does Pile 1's inner child want to say to them right now? What does Pile 1's inner child want to say to them right now? Page of Swords was like that. It's a lot of cards, Pile. See, I told you, you guys, they want to say a lot to you. Your inner child wants to speak to you. It's almost very excited that you're here. It's like, yay! I'll tell you what I can do is this. Okay, so we've got this one here, the Hierophant, the Knight of Swords. And this one is upright, so I'll take that. I don't know, Pile 1, and I know that this is quite specific, but maybe some of you had like a little or an accident or something happened to you. Not too severe, but severe enough that made you change. Like it actually, you remember it quite well, that it jolted something. I almost see like when children pretend to run away from home, and then when they get out, then they realize how dangerous the world is, without, outside their home. Particularly with these three here, you've got a Page of Swords, Hierophant, Knight of Swords, Tower. Yeah, particularly with the Tower and the Hierophant. And that taught you something about the values, like you really understood something about your own sense of values within the home. Or not even with the home, but as being a human being. And it was like a real learning. After that, you respected it after that. Because there was a sense of you thinking that you knew better. But when you're kids, you do. Maybe something happened when you were small. And I know that this is quite general, and it is a general reading. And we all have events that have happened in our past that have made us who we are. I'm just going to check if that's all on screen. Yeah, brilliant. So it's essentially like who we are. I know that this is reversed, so I'm going to move this like that, but or the other way around. But it was almost like, yeah, there may have been something that compromised, that you got into trouble for. Maybe there was a big thing, and then that was a significant memory in your childhood. It may have been with others, but it also could have been something that could have endangered your life, and you got away with it. You managed to get away with it. You managed to thank God you did. It was like a lucky escape, a close call. Particularly with this Knight of Swords, it's almost like it could go one of two ways. Like it could have either helped you in how you are, like in the respect of like whether or not you're quite daring with things and you go ahead for it, and when you think about it, it's almost like when you know something, like a hunch, you go for it. You take chances. Maybe because in this particular instance you weren't able to take chances. You were wrong in this particular in this particular instance. But it's actually helped you to become like a really strong person in your resolve in how you think about things. And there's something about that that you need to remember, or that your inner child is trying to tell you to bring you back to. This is calling out to me. Okay, right. 9 of Cups reversed. Yeah. Yeah. You felt like you knew better. I'm gonna, I don't know, I feel like it's either way. I don't know, it's both to me, reversed and not the page. So we will keep, I'll make a mental note of that. But this, yeah, there was a wish. There was something that you aimed out to do. You wanted to do it. Maybe you did it with your friend, and then it just all went to shit, basically, or something happened. And you know, like, say for example, you, and as I said, like, everybody has those stories as a child where they've gone against their parents' wishes, they've gone against it, they've done something really risky, and when you look back on it, you think, oh my God, my life, like, your life was in jeopardy. But you don't think about it because you're a child. You just think about, like, oh yeah, this is great, you know, I'm just living my life. But then we don't realize, like, yeah, I mean, I have plenty of moments like that. Not as many as some, but I have enough to remember that I have suffered from things like that. And it's just the innocence of being a child, isn't it? And I think the memory of that is something that, you know, is loving, and you really enjoyed that, and you understood the love that came from that, and there was a sense of beauty around that. But there was also something very, very powerful about you being able to use that as a as an ability to, like, help others. Well, 6 of Cups reversed here, 10 of Cups, King of Wands, 2 of Cups, and the Lovers reversed. Wow. How interesting. I was discussing this combination with a friend today, actually. And we were trying to ascertain, like, what exactly does that mean when you've got the 2, which is kind of like, for me, the physical manifestation of a relationship, but the Lovers is the ultimate relationship. So here, what your inner child is trying to tell you is that your quest for happiness will not succeed until you can resolve certain memories about what happened in the past. There's still some healing that needs to be done. There's something that you're not facing. You're not looking at it. And look, it's blatant. It's saying, look, you need to look here. But it was like that. That's really important. And it's almost like, you know, but this wish that didn't happen has almost permeated through all of this time. And you need to go back and fix that memory. Because if you don't do that, and if you don't listen to what your inner child is trying to tell you in the respect of that, then your happiness will be jeopardized in the respect of you being able to find a long-lasting relationship. Because you can form relationships. You do form relationships. In fact, that's what you want. These 3 are telling me that you really want that. You want something that's passionate, that's fiery, that you really want that. And I'm really getting a strong male energy here, pile 1. You may not be male, but I'm feeling male energy here. I know that the majority of people who come and see my readings are women, but in the respect of, like, I don't know, you know, you don't have to be female. But I am just getting a strong male energy. So with this here, there's a distorted memory. There's something that's not right. There's something that you're not looking at. And it's interesting how we have the heron here as well, which is looking down on these 2 who are hidden in the bushes. So it's almost like there's a sense of really having to look. The eye is there. It's very, very prominent. The eye. There's something about you being able to look, being able to see things with fresh eyes, with new eyes. because an unfulfilled wish has blinded you. Wow. That's what your inner child is trying to tell you, because unless you look at that memory, unless you look at that with a different viewpoint, you're not going to be able to achieve the balance that you want within yourself to have a fulfilling relationship. You can get relationships no problem, Par 1. Like, no problem. And if you're saying to me, Reena, I do, but I don't know, I think you can. If you really wanted a relationship, you could go out and you can get one. But whether or not it's actually something that you really want, now that's a different matter. And that's probably why you're still single, if you are. And the reason why I tell you that is because I resonate with that, you know. You know, at the end of the day, it's very easy to go out there and get a relationship. And it's very difficult to be alone in that respect. But then some people are afraid to be alone. And I get that from here. But you've got the King of Wands here. And the King of Wands tells me that there is a maturity of understanding, that you still have got some stuff to work on. You've still got some stuff to move through. And you're a very passionate individual, exceptionally so. And there's a beautiful, beautiful animalistic kind of vibe to you. It's like, it's primal. It's very sexual. I can feel it. Yeah. It's like that heart beating, you know, particularly with that Knight of Swords. It's very passionate, very driven. And it's almost like if some of you do things in your work that are very passionate and driven, but then you're kind of thinking, what's happening with my love life? And if it is, and if you are in a relationship, then there may be a sense of like it not fulfilling everything. There's still something missing. And that something missing will be very important until you can resolve this, which is this childhood memory. Now, what we want to do is we want to have a look at how we can access this childhood memory. What is it? What is it that the inner child is saying? It's saying, the inner child is saying to you, there is something that you need to look at in your past childhood memory that was about an unfulfilled wish. And it was about something that maybe you got caught at, something that maybe you got, you know, that yeah, as I said before in the earlier part of the reading, it was like a kind of surprise. Not a surprise, but a, like you got caught at something. You got caught, and it was to do with like your life. It is life or death. I definitely see that. Like it was intense, you know. Okay, dear Spirit, could you please give us some more information about what Par 1's inner child wants to tell them? Wow, look at that. And that is the Sahasrara chakra. That's the top chakra. This is about you connecting to the divine, forgiving yourself. And look at that. Isn't that so beautiful? Oh my God, that's so cute. This is like, you know, this is the raging part of you that you need to understand that needs just as much care as this. They both need care. Oh, my heart is swelling up now. It's beautiful. Forgive yourself, my darlings. Forgive yourself. Okay, this one. Dear Spirit, what messages does Par 1's inner child want to give to them? Wow, rejection. So did you feel rejected as a result of this event, Par 1? I don't know. Did you feel that, like, because maybe it was a rejection of your opinion or something like that, and that hurt you? Because I do get a sense of some kind of like ego thing. You know, maybe you're not forgiving yourself for what happened because something could have bad have happened, you know? And it's okay, you know, we're just kids. We just do our thing. It's all part of it. But this is the problem, you know, because sometimes we take so much risks as children that it can be very, very damaging when we realize that, you know, there's something that we could have done that really could have hurt people, particularly as children. Okay, so let's have a look And what the magical star card. So this is about like, how are you going to like overcome this? How are you going to like help yourself, to help you forgive yourself, to get over this rejection of yourself? Destiny. Number 8. All that I shall need to know as I walk now shall be shown. All that I need to know as I walk shall now be shown. Wow. So this is part of your growth and your destiny. This is not about you getting this done, sorting this out, doing this, you know. This isn't about you. You had to go through this in order to get to this point, so that you could develop this, so that you could rebalance this. This is all part of the game, all part of the process. How beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, pile 1. Oh, my heart. I just want to give you a big hug. It's beautiful, beautiful. Okay, let's get some angel guidance for you. Angels wanted to come all out for you there, darling. Wow, Archangel Michael. Yeah, yeah. Because I feel like there's a lot of guilt here. And guilt, okay, now, I used to say to myself that guilt is a man-made emotion, which it is. But there's toxic guilt. There's a sense of guilt which we hang on to the fact that we've done something. And I feel this here. I feel this. I feel like you really wanted something to happen. You really wanted something to be a certain way, and it didn't work out that way. And there's a sense of you not forgiving yourself for it. And it's okay. Your inner child wants you to know that you can forgive yourself for it. And you're divinely protected as well. Like you have this, it's part of your destiny in order to go through this. It's part of who you are. It's part of your development in who you are. Okay, I'm going to do a gemstone card for you, and then I'm going to close out the reading with a Lenormand card. So let's see what gemstone advice. That was the one that wanted to come out anyway. Okay, cool. Calcite, amplify, cleanse and open. Okay, I'm going to stand up so that you can see it and then you can check it out. Okay, here we go. Now calcite can come in many forms. This one looks like it's more the clear optical calcite. Do I have any knocking about? No, I don't. But, I mean, do I? No. But this is calcite. Sorry, my friends. This is called Caribbean calcite, which is, well, actually, no, it's not actually. This is blue aragonite, but it's nicknamed as Caribbean calcite, so I apologise. That's not it at all. If I find some calcite, I'll get it for you. Hold on one second. I'm going to find some for you. So this was the piece I wanted to show you, my friends. This is called optical calcite, which is also known as Icelandic spar. Beautiful, isn't it? Okay. So, calcite, amplify, cleanse, open, double trouble. Calcite has a unique optical quality. When you are looking through the stone, it appears doubled. Calcite can amplify energy for the higher awareness and healing, pairing well with other crystals and taking on their attributes to increase their metaphysical skills. A powerful dissolver, calcite transforms negative energy for renewal and release. It also aligns the chakras, cleansing the aura of toxicity and renewing energy flow. Calcite reminds you that there is always a new beginning. You just have to decide when to start. And look at that, Cancer and Venus. Beautiful, isn't it? So, pile 1, that's your crystal, and I'll just leave that there. And then we will just pull a Lenormand card for you to close out. Just one, please. The winding snake is likely vile and sleazy, and a betrayal she has a propensity. Do you know what I think that is? I think that's your own mind. I think that's like some sense of like, maybe you think that you did that. Maybe you think that you were like that. It's very interesting. Yeah, because, you know, sevens are about difficulty. It's about insidious behavior. And do you think that that's what you did? Do you think that that's how you were? Because, I don't know. I don't think you did. I don't think you did that. And I think that there's this distorted sense of self. You know, it's almost like, oh, I could have done this. Oh, I could have done that. Oh, I could have done these things. I could have done this differently. The shoulda, woulda, coulda vibes. And, you know, we all have those things, but it's okay. It's okay. That's not who you are right now. That's not, you were divinely protected in that moment. And that's all that matters. And what your inner child is now asking you to do is to forgive yourself. To forgive yourself of these things, because it's just what children do. It's just what children get up to, and it's just how it happens, how it works. So please, please, please forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. And take care of yourself, Pile 1. The world loves you and it needs you. Sending you a big cuddle, Pile 1. Big, big hugs and a big, big cuddle. I hope you enjoyed that reading. So just remember, just about your inner child. Just be kind to yourself. That's what I would say. If you did like this reading, please do like it. Please do give it a thumbs up. I do post every day, so please do subscribe. It'd be lovely to have you here in your beautiful energy. But otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and take care, and I'll see you in other readings. Bye, my darlings. Bye. Hello, Pile 2, and welcome to your reading. You chose the Joe Sparrow Tarot, and also you chose this particular Six of Cups. This is quite a tough Six of Cups, and it's interesting, as I said, with Pile 1. Not many of these are actually like quite pleasant depictions. There's interesting memories here. Memories of something kind of once past. You know, how you remember something when you were younger is often very different when you go back and experience it again. So it's almost like placing yourself into the memory where you were before. Yeah, I'm getting that resonance with it. Kind of wishing you were back there in a way. Wishing that things were like a certain way. Wishing that they were how they used to be. Let's see what the archetypes cards have to say. Dear Spirit, what does Pile 2's inner child want to say to them? What does Pile 2's inner child want to say to them? Dear Spirit, what does Pile 2's inner child want to say to them? Wow, the healer. It's almost like you've transmuted a situation. How interesting, the colours are quite similar. You've transmuted a situation that may have been painful. It may not have been like an overly painful situation, but I don't know, I feel like there's a sense of not being heard. And in order for you to transmute that sadness of not being heard or not being recognized, there was this, you know, you want to heal. Interesting how I said hear. You want to heal others. 25, 7, yeah, it's a difficult number. And 6. I mean, we've got 6s all the way through as our baseline, but in the respect of like moving on and moving forward. Also with the 3-headed snake as well. This is about being able to split from something, past, present, future, seeing the three different aspects. And also something that drew me to doing these readings for you was about the fact that, you know, we often have 3 different types of ourselves. We have a childhood self, we have a childhood self, we have ourself in this 3D reality, and then we have our higher self. So yeah, that's kind of what's happening here, and we've got this element of 3 that's going on. So yeah, let's have a little look at that. It was interesting, I noticed that my hands were quite dry, so there may be this sense of like not nourishing yourself, thinking that others deserve more than you do. Pile 2. Dear Spirit, what does Pile 2's inner child want to say to them? The 12th house. I can hear the ice cream van coming along, so yeah, I may have to stop the reading and continue after it's gone. Yep. So the 12th house, the house of unknown, the house of Pisces, the house of hidden elements, of the unconscious self. I do feel that there may have been some trauma sustained by some of you, but not even trauma. I feel like the wishing for it to be different. I'll just take the 2 that were upright. So we've got revenge and we've got flattery. So some of you may have been gifted stuff as a way of not having love. Revenge. Scorpio, Mars in Scorpio reversed, yeah. And then Venus in Gemini. Both reversed. There may have been some secret things going on. Secrets. I don't know, the first thing I kind of get with this particular 6 of Cups is a big house. You may not have had a big house, but you know, like the secrets that come when people have money, when there's like a lot of money or a lot of space maybe, and being in a house, playing in the gardens, like, and then maybe finding out a secret or something going on. And there may have been like some kind of deception that was occurring in order to like, you know, make things kind of happen, or to kind of, not make things happen, but in order to kind of hide the reality of what's really going on underneath. And this kind of memory, I don't know, just the potted plants and stuff. I just imagine like a big patio and a big house. And having to find yourself within that space, because there may have not been an opportunity to find yourself. Because it was almost like you didn't know, there was a sense of not knowing who you truly were. And this is kind of a quest for you to find out. I feel like there was a lot put on you, like a lot of stuff to kind of mask the true you. And your inner child is trying to say that you went through this. Okay, let's see what was the next card. And I just wanted to pull this out. And then we will move on to the tarot. Dear Spirit, what does Pile 2's inner child want to say to them? Dear Spirit, what does Pile 2's inner child want to say to them? Wow. Yeah. Okay, Pile 2. Yeah, I see that. It's very beautiful. I get this idea of the fox. The fox is like, it's such a beautiful animal, but it is coveted for its fur. It's hunted. It's hunted by humans. It's hunted by prey. It's kind of like, you know, it doesn't get any respite. And I get that feeling here. There may have been something physical, like there may have been some tempers. I feel like somebody's temper might have been off the rails. And images were kind of maintained. I feel that. Let's see what the tarot has to say. Dear Spirit, what messages, what does Pile 2's inner child want to tell them? It's difficult. It's actually difficult. It's almost like it doesn't want me to do it. Dear Spirit, what messages does Pile 2's inner child want to say? Dear Spirit, what messages does Pile 2's inner child want to say? Thank you, dear Spirit. Actually, I wanted to do that as well, actually. But anyway, that didn't happen, so never mind. I usually would have put that into the reading, but hey, it didn't happen. I can hear that ice cream van. Right, okay. Wow, 9 of Wands, the Emperor reversed. I may have to stop the reading, my friends. I'll be with you soon. Oh, we're safe. We're safe for now. Okay, let me see if I can get a chance to tarot reversed. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Don't know if you'll be able to see that. Will you be able to see that if I place that there? Just about. Okay. Can you see that? Yeah, just about. Just about. Not that that makes any difference, but yeah. Yeah, my energy right now is really interesting. It's a quite, I wouldn't say sarcastic, but it's very much about what an image, it's images. What's the image that's being placed on something? Yeah, I mean, look. Wow, Emperor reversed, Tower reversed, Wheel of Fortune reversed. Oh, look at that. The 6 and the 4 of Pentacles as well. 10 of Pentacles as well. Image, yeah. It was about you keeping up appearances. You couldn't be open with your emotions. There's no cups here. 9 of Cups, a wish, yeah. But also the traditional sense of the 9 of Cups, if you remember in the Rider-Waite, it's a man that stands sitting there like he's really proud. It comes back to my own original conception of the 9 of Cups, which is a really arrogant person. Wow. So financially, you know, it seems like money doesn't seem to be like an issue for you, but being yourself was an issue. Being yourself and who you are and who you wanted to be. Yeah. Your intuition helped you through this, and I think that is the one thing that is, you know, your inner child is telling you that this was almost karmic in a way. Because 12th house is about the unknown. It's about things that are not there, and it's also to do with the part that we play in other people's karma as well, the roles that we play. And definitely I see this sense of this aggressive character with this Emperor reversed. Yeah, it may have been like, I did see that, like some kind of maybe a father figure that was belligerent. And you were always on your defenses. It was always about keeping up appearances, about looking like everything was okay. And it was always like you never knew what was going to happen. You know, this thing of walking on eggshells. This is, you know, you're always scared because you don't know how things are going to be. And then the 6, you know, being grateful for what little kind of like love that you could get, what little you could get for like love, in the respect of a parental figure. And the Two of Wands, you know, you were stuck in this place. You had to leave in order to, you know, but it was like stay or go. Do I stay or do I go? What do I do, you know? And like then we've also got, okay, bear with me, I will have to stop 1 second. Thank you for bearing with me, pile 2. We got to here with the Wheel of Fortune. It's almost like a turn of destiny didn't happen, or a turn of destiny that you believed that was supposed to be yours. It may also be to do with inheritance, maybe. Or maybe the other way round. You know, the first thing that came to mind when I started to look at your reading was this story that I saw about this homeless guy who he had everything. He said that his parents gave him everything, but they just didn't give him the love that he needed. And that's what I can feel here. Because we've got like really tough, like the Pentacles cards, the 10, the 6 and the 4, you know. Everybody's got different ideas about the 10 of Pentacles. Me personally, I've always seen it as an ideal. It's like almost like this is like the ideal of what we aspire to. And it's, you know, in the Rider-Waite-Smith, it's, you know, Odysseus coming home and only the dogs recognizing him. And he's seeing this life that isn't actually his. And I don't know, with this Emperor reversed, I'm just seeing this. And this Emperor is really interesting because it's very dictatorial. You know, it's very much that. But then whereas when it's reversed, it's very, very, it's not afflicted in a pleasant way. I definitely see it as somebody who uses his power or her power in a very masculine, dominant way to oppress. You may have escaped, like in your dreams, to your dream state. I think also what your inner child is saying to you is to remember your dreams. To remember what you used to wish for when you were young. Because that's really important. Because it didn't happen when you were younger. It didn't happen. And I don't know, I just get the feeling like when these patterns occur at a young age, it's almost like a bit like the Princess and the Pea syndrome. So something small will happen at a young age and then it will just reverberate and get bigger almost as you go on through life. So the respect of, you know, certain patterns and behaviors that happened when you were younger, they reverberate. So it's almost like you accept the minimum. You don't get your just deserves. And it's almost like you end up gorging. There may be, I don't know, from this particular 4 of Pentacles, there may be a sense of holding on and also addiction. I do get like a kind of like addiction. So you may be addicted to something, either drugs or food or maybe even drink. But I'm thinking it's more like something where you consume something. And I know you consume stuff with alcohol, but I don't know, it just feels like either drugs or food. Something that, yeah. But you're deeply intuitive. And it's so interesting how we have the 6 and we have, you know, these 2 figures that are standing like that. It's almost like you got lost in stories, or you may have like used your childhood stories as you know, and storybooks and being a child to help you through this, because this 12th house kind of says to me that it's very yeah, there's something very, very, and particularly with Scorpio here, very mysterious. Something that you couldn't have known, and it's to do with a karmic lesson. Something that you agreed to take part in the respect of supporting someone else's role. And that's very difficult. But then it's also about you and about how you get what you deserve. Because this is the opportunity for you to get what you deserve. Powerful. Powerful, powerful, powerful. Let's have a look at what these cards have to say. Dear Spirit, what does Pile 2's inner child want to say to them? Look at that balance and expansion. And in this, we almost have like Mother Earth. We have, I don't know these characters. I know that there is stories behind each of these. But that's also Vishuddhi chakra, which is the throat chakra. And then this is the higher chakra, Sahasra. So there, to me, it doesn't seem like... And also, they don't look very happy. So there's this sense of like not being able to gain balance within the situation. And it's almost like you had to take a higher ground. I think what your inner child is trying to say to you is that you have an opportunity to speak now and make your dreams come true. To make what you want come true. Because you weren't able to do it before. You weren't able to... Yeah, you weren't able to. So I feel like you weren't allowed to express. It's almost like this throat chakra was cut. Dear Spirit, what messages for Pile 2? What does Pile 2's inner child want to say to them? Yeah, because then that matches with the feeling that I had initially with it being difficult for me to even start. Oh, Pile 2. Look at the colours. Red, 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 red. And what I get from these is not getting what you wanted. Red. Like you didn't deserve happiness. Well, Pile 2, you do deserve happiness. This is what your inner child has come to tell you, that you deserve all the happiness in the world. You deserve it. You deserve this happiness. I promise. Dear Spirit, what messages... What does Pile 2's inner child want to say to them? Wow. Let my mind be clear and strong. Let me study well and long. You may have like... I don't know, I see you doing really well at school in order to like kind of get away from this situation. Let my mind be clear and strong. Let me study well and long. You did it though. You did it. Or you're doing it. Let's get you some angel guidance. Dear Spirit, what does Pile 2's inner child want to say to them? Wow, orange spectrum. This is about you healing your sacral chakra. About you healing the fact that you are allowed to create, that you have the ability to create, that you deserve to create. Because we don't have many cups here. All we have is the 9. And we have the 6, but obviously that's the one that was there. So there's this sense of like, even the sexuality, there's some healing work that needs to be done with the sexuality. The red, orange. Yeah. So I don't know, there may be some issues in the respect of like looking at how your sexuality is affected. There's some healing going on about creation that's happening as well. Let's see what these cards have to say. Dear Spirit, what does Pile 2's inner child want to say to them? Is that an orange one? No, not quite. But look at that. They're pretty crochet. I think this is also known as the crocodile stone. I think so. Anyway, but it's interesting how we do have some orange here. Okay, I'll just stand up so that you can see that. So lepidocrochet. Open heart, grounded teacher. Practical and methodical, Lepidocrocite approaches spirituality in a tangible way. Grounding practices back to earth while staying connected to source energy. A great crystal for teachers or anyone who wishes to pass down spiritual teachings. Lepidocrocite or crocite values tradition and educates without judgment, sharing wisdom for humanity's highest good. Lepidocrocite helps with committing to your life's purposes, staying focused on the tasks at hand and taking action in order to make progress. Each day you are one step close to your dreams, and it's Sagittarius and it's the earth. So Sagittarius is quite synonymous with this as well, with study. And it's also is it the ruler of the ninth house? I think it is. Yes, it is. It's the ruler of the ninth house, and this is number 9. So it's about you like exploring as well. But I really feel like this creativity is really important for you. How interesting. Look at the colours. Orange is very, very important for you. Really important for you, pile 2. In order for you to heal. Okay, I'm going to close out the reading now with some Lenormand. So let's see. Dear Spirit, what does pile 2's inner child want to say to them? Dear Spirit, what does pile 2's inner child want to say to them? Thank you. So, beware the ring on the left-hand side. No positive tidings should be implied. Hope for the ring on the right hand side, and maybe you walk the aisle with great pride. And look, the stone color is orange. I don't know, I feel like some of you don't believe that you are worthy of love. I get this from this whole reading, and what the inner child is saying to you is that you are worthy of love. You are worthy of that. You are worthy of the commitment of someone else saying to you that you matter to them without any kind of like constraint, any kind of caveat, anything that puts you in a space where you don't feel that you're worthy, that you have to compromise yourself. No. This is about you. You are good enough, pile 2. You are more than good enough, and you are worthy of this. You are absolutely worthy of love. You are worthy of everything. And I don't know, I feel like there's this thing, because there may have been this feeling that you had a lot compared to other people, but it's not about that. You know, everybody's got their deficit. And as I said about that thing with that guy that was homeless, but then he, he had everything. Monetary wise, he had everything, but it was almost like that's kind of like boxing in the emotions of the child, and then the child just suffocates and has no idea. So, I feel that it's just really important to recognize that this is what's created you. This is what's made you who you are. And you're not going to know all the answers about how people are and about what people do and about why you're in this situation. But the most important thing is about how you are, how you feel, how you work through this situation. So yeah, I feel like that's so important. So important. Anything else that your inner child wants to say to you? Your inner child wants to say that you are deserving of love, pile 2. You deserve love. You do deserve it. You do. And as long as you believe that you deserve love, you'll be able to heal yourself in order to allow yourself to receive love. I hope you enjoyed that message, my darlings. It was a beautiful message. If you did like this video, please do like it. Please do subscribe for more. I do videos every day, and I'm going to be doing more picker cards over this time. But anyway, my darlings, I hope you enjoyed it. You take care, and I'm sending you all the love in the world, and I'm sending you like the biggest hugs, because you deserve it, my darlings. You deserve it. Lots of love. See you in the next reading. Hello, pile 3, and welcome to your reading. You chose the Star Spinners Tarot, and you chose this particular 6 of Cups. So what I'm getting off the bat here is a reconsideration of the softness that is occurring within the personality. Something that's stopping you. There's a warning here. A warning to not be too hasty, to not act in a way that may seem foolish. It's asking you to remember something before you continue with something, before you act ahead with something. I get heart chakra here because of the pink. Okay, let's pop that to the side and let's see what the archetype cards have to say. Dear Spirit, what does pile 3's inner child want to say to pile 3? What does pile 3's inner child want to say to pile 3? What does pile 3's inner child want to say? The Lover. I get a lot of pain, pile 3. A lot of pain. And it's almost like a compensatory vibe, which is similar to pile 2, but there's something more brash, more kind of driven, going for it, more in a sense that it's live and let love kind of thing. Because it's almost like you want to accept that the world has this sense of love, that it's almost like you want to believe that love conquers all. Capricorn. The energy around you is serious, materialistic, hardworking. It bestows shrewdness and cautious ambition. Yeah, there's a fight going on. There's a fight between the trust that you want to have and what you believe can happen. That's what I'm sensing, pile 3. Only one, please. What does pile 3's inner child want to say to them? And may I have only one card, please? What does pile 3's inner child want to say to them? Okay. Yeah. It's almost like being like the friendly one, the one who is quite dependable, the one who can like do everything for everyone. Sun in Gemini. Yeah, and I got that. That was the first thing when I saw that Lover's card. I saw Gemini. And you're very good at it. You're very good at being this versatile person. Maybe a little bit of people pleasing. Maybe. Okay, and then we'll get one of these. The Spirit. What does pile 3's inner child want to say to them? What does pile 3's inner child want to say to them? Thank you. Stingray. Let me have a quick look at that. I mean, off the bat, what am I getting? Let me have a look. Well, that was very interesting, pile 3, because it's about the backbone. It's about whether or not the backbone is there of the stingray. Whether or not that they are, as I said, people-pleasing. This idea of you know, being so flat that you almost are not seen because you seamlessly go through the water. But then what happens is then you actually dismiss yourself. And there's a sense of like bending to other people's will, not really, and being in service of others, so much so that you forget yourself. And that's what your inner child is telling you. It's saying, remember you, remember yourself, remember who you are, because you're important, my love. You are important. Beautiful, really beautiful. Okay, now let's see what the tarot has to say. I'll be putting this back into the deck so that we'll see if we get it. Dear Spirit, what messages does pile 2's inner child want to say to pile 3? Sorry, pile 3's inner child want to say to pile 3. What does pile 3's inner child want to say to pile 3? That page of coins was on its side, so I will remember that. The Devil reversed. The Tower. Wow. So this came up in pile 1, this one came up in pile 2. Can you see that? Just about. Let's move these a bit up. Thank you for bearing with me, pile 3. That's much better. Okay, so and this Page of Pentacles, look at that guy there, or that lady here, this Page of Pentacles. This is like, I feel like this possibly may be sibling energy. There may have been some sense of sibling rivalry, and a sense of duty to, you may have been the middle child, middle or older child I'm sensing here, or I don't know, maybe I'm actually getting all 3 of them, middle, younger, older. I'm getting all 3 of them, but the dynamic that's standing out here is a compromising of yourself in order to like be in the situation, to be able to be around, to feel like you matter. Yeah, to feel like you matter. And it's almost like there was a way of being able to look at the situation in from a different perspective that may have been able to give you more insight that you realize. There was competition. I feel there was competition. And you weren't, it actually made you a much more adaptable, versatile person, which is why I feel like you could be either the middle or the younger child, because the older child has quite a harder time. Is not, I you know, and I say that as an older child. Whereas I've found that people who are like the second or the third child or lower down, they're much more, they understand more about being in a situation with others and having to compromise. Whereas like the older child is the spearhead. They're the ones that pave the way for everybody else. So there's very much this idea of being like, you know, the easy-going person, the one who kind of works hard. But I get more of the working hard as making sure that everybody's all right, making sure that everybody's happy. And you were able to do this very well. But it's caused an imbalance in yourself, because I feel like there's this sense of self-sacrifice that has occurred. And it's like a constant seesaw, a constant battle, particularly with the 5 and the 9 of Wands here. You know, sometimes there can be an ability to go off the handle. And it's almost like this continuous loop of stuff. The only way you kind of like get over this is by, or like the way you deal with this is by getting away as far as possible. I feel like when you move away and you kind of, you do your own thing, it's a lot easier for you. But in respect for you to receive love, that's what your inner child wants to say to you. It says to you that you've got to grow a bit more of a backbone. You've got to start standing up for what you want. Because if you don't, then who will? You'll just end up bending and folding and kind of compromising for everyone else around you. And yeah, I mean, you kind of knew that. You do have this understanding, this realization. There could have been a point where you could have turned to some kind of substance, or there could have been a path that you could have gone down. I even see like maybe like you could have got involved with a bad crowd, but you decided not to. And instead, the opportunity of you put your brain to something else, and it just kind of like expanded. This is just the story I'm seeing, but I'm imagining this story or seeing this story that is of someone that wasn't really, like wasn't very, sorry, we get a lot of like people racing down here. But yeah, I get a lot of like compromising towards groups of people and situations and things. And these groups may not have your best interest at heart. And this 4 of Cups actually is very useful, to be honest with you, because it allows you to sit on the fence a bit rather than committing to one or the other. And because of that, I think that saved you. That helped you to see what was the right choice for you. There was internal conflict that was going on, but it's like I realized that actually, no, I need to put this energy elsewhere, and you did. The only thing is that there was a certain sense of sacrifice that was going on here. So it's almost like you sacrificed one thing, a part of yourself, for that. And what your inner child, and you worked really hard about, you really worked hard to kind of gain this like sense of stability for yourself. I feel like you're financially stable, pile 3, of your own making. And you do well at that because you're good at what you do and you get on with people really well. The only thing though I see is, there's this balancing act. It's almost like you have these emotions that run behind you. And sometimes, looking at your emotions and facing your emotions can be very, very painful, because it brings you back to that sense of unfulfillment. There's an unfulfilled vibe going on here, and that's because you've never put yourself first. That's what your inner child is saying, to put yourself first. And I see that you have done in a material sense. But you need to do it in an emotional sense, a spiritual sense. You've done it in, there's no swords here. So it feels like to me like you're not thinking too much about stuff. You don't think about it. If there's no swords here, you're avoiding thinking about it. That makes sense. That makes absolute sense. And it drives me crazy. It drives me crazy when I see that. Because I just think, are you not like... Can you not see that? And sometimes you don't want to see it because it's too painful. That's definitely Gemini. It's very Gemini. It's very Gemini moon, actually. So I wouldn't be surprised that might be what's happening. There. Okay, let's have a look at your chakra cards to gain some more insight into the situation. Dear Spirit, what does pile 3's inner child want to say to them? Quite a lot by the looks of things. Dear Spirit, I'll take this one. Oh wow, you got the same as pile 1. Yeah, there's this forgiveness. Look at that. It's such a beautiful card. My God. It makes me just want to like, just go and cry in the corner for a bit. And just cuddle up and just get a nice big blanket and just give myself lots of hugs. You have to forgive yourself, pile 3. And this is the thing, I don't think you're too far off of it. I feel like, you know, you've got this 3 and this 6 that are here. Like, you know, it's almost like you know the answer, but there's something that you don't want to commit to. I don't get a sense of commitment from you, pile 3. Yeah. Like you're scared of that commitment. And look at that, love. So your inner child is telling you that you're worthy of love. And rest. Yeah, you may work quite a bit in order to avoid looking at your emotions. That doesn't surprise me at all. So your inner child is telling you to rest. Look, you've got this little guy like sleeping in a rhino. In a rhino. Not like a bear or anything else, but a rhino. So it shows you that hard outside exterior you try to get into. You can't pierce that skin. But look at the way that he's cuddling him. So cute. It's cuddling the rhino. It's really cute. Oh, this is such a beautiful set of readings. They're very touching. Very, very touching. Okay, dear Spirit, what messages does pile 3's inner child want to give to pile 3? What does pile 3's inner child want to say to pile 3? Oh, wow. Yeah, safe home. So then, okay, I get it. So then there's this sense of the reason why you've been working so much is because you've been wanting that sense of home. I cast this circle round about, safety is now beyond doubt. I cast this circle round about, safety is now beyond doubt. I cast this circle round about, safety now is beyond doubt. And look at the greens. Yeah. I mean, you have a lot of yellow here as well. I see yellow and white. Yellow, white, and then that greeny kind of colour. But yeah. 3 + 9, 9, 12, 3. Okay, right, so the Empress. Do you trust that you can rest your head in places? Do you feel like you can sleep? Are you sleeping okay? Are you giving yourself that love? Let's see what the angels also get some angelic magic for you as well. Angelic advice for you, my darlings. Oh, you got 2. Archangel Michael and Archangel Lumiel, the light of union. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know, there's something about here, I feel like there's this, you don't believe that you deserve love. You don't believe it. You believe it's for other people, for other things, for other people that, it's things that happen in fairy tales. And that's what that I will try and find it, that 6 of Cups was saying to you. It was saying, hang on a minute, wait, there's some really beautiful things that are waiting for you. There's some really lovely things that are waiting for you and are here for you. And, you know, remember that we love you. Beautiful, really beautiful. Honestly, I could cry in all these readings. They're really, really wonderful, really beautiful. And it's just so wonderful to hear that child speak. Okay, so I'm going to give you a crystal card. The Spirit, what does pile 3's inner child want to say to them? It wants all the crystals. What does pile 3's inner child want to say? All the crystals. And Archangel Michael as well, by the way, if I didn't mention that. Yeah, Archangel Michael is protecting you. I really feel like, you know, that's why there is this constant like thinking that you need to work and create your own thing, because there's not the security there. That's why that was like that. And you're very successful at it. Can I just have one, please? Just one. Thank you. Wow, I think that's obsidian. Onyx. Okay, there we go. That's onyx. Okay, onyx. Autonomy, self-discipline, and command. You tune into your inner commander. Onyx is a strong ally, dispelling loneliness and self-doubt, instilling greater confidence in your decision-making. Face your fears and know that you have the power to overcome them. Onyx surface represents the passing of time, the balance of yin and yang. It is a sturdy and solitary stone that encourages you to break free from any unhealthy relationships in order to be autonomous. Know that you are completely capable of making the right decisions for yourself. After all, it's your life, and it's Sagittarius, and it's Saturn. Wow. Wow. Okay. And then let's pick a Lenormand card for you. Yeah, look at that. Heart. It's the green and the pink, isn't it? So we've got this green and pink. That's Anahata chakra. Dear Spirit, what does Pile 3's inner child want to say to them? Much profit to this house. To you, this house is bringing your luck in cards, trade, and love. That's changing. Wow. So, I mean, stability is on your side. Like, financial stability is really strong with you, but it seems like that's something that's, you know, I'm gonna be honest with you. You may be a bit of a player. You may be somebody who can't settle because of that sense. But your inner child is telling you that you know that you want something else. You want something more than just you want something more than just a playing around. You want something. You want a place to call home. And home is where the heart is, Pile 3. So it's about you finding your heart. Beautiful reading. Beautiful. I hope you enjoyed that, Pile 3. It was an honor to read for you. If you did like this video, please do like it. Please do share, subscribe, all that good juice and stuff. Please do subscribe because I upload every day. But otherwise, I hope you enjoyed this reading. Take care, my darlings. Please take good care of yourself, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye. Hi, Pile 4. Welcome to your reading. Wow, Pile 4. The most celebratory out of all of the cards, in my opinion. I usually get this card mixed up with the 2 of Cups because the 2 is quite prominent. So I get a sense of celebratory, loving, happy memories. And they permeate your life. They do with all of us, but I think, they mark something very important to you. Almost like milestones, these happy moments, which I know they do in all of our lives, but for you specifically, Pile 4, I feel like they really mark important milestones within your life. And they help you to kind of gauge where you're at within your life. Okay, so we'll start off with that. But the celebration aspects, maybe celebratory events are something that are really important to you as well. Or as I said, they've marked certain points or aspects within your life. Dear Spirit, what does Pile 4's inner child want to say to Pile 4? Dear Spirit, what does pile 4's inner child want to say? It's a pile 4. Thank you. Oh, 2. Wow, you got Gnosis and you got the gem. Jams. Gnosis. I'm sorry, I don't remember what that is. Bear with me 1 second, pile 4. So, pile 4, this is pretty interesting. Interesting how we have all these colours, right? We have these beautiful colours that are going on here. But also, what I was saying about events, it's almost like lived experiences are really important to you as part of your part of your experience here on Earth. What you do, the things that you like, I don't know, I see like you going and exploring, going traveling, going and doing, you know, you're always like going to different places. You might not travel, but you go to a lot of places with people. You may go abroad, but it's all about the lived experience. It's about how that experience translates into what life really means. And you're seen as this gem, like this real gem that brings this beautiful light to everyone, and this beautiful, like something very special to people's lives, and to wherever you kind of go. And it's a really deep felt sense, that, you know, this is not like a kind of you know, superficial person that you would find at a party. This is the person that goes to everyone and makes them feel good. Whoever they talk to, they make them feel good. They make them feel included. You know, I just get this sense where you want everybody to have a good time in the respect, but it's because it makes you feel like you have a good time. And it's really important that you know that people are having their own experience, and also that whole experience is also part of your experience as well. So yeah, that's what I'm kind of getting from these. Very interesting, very interesting. And you like not knowing what's going to happen. Like, obviously you have a lot of things planned, but it's all quite spontaneous as well. It's really interesting. Okay. Wow, Scorpio. Yeah. Yeah, there's an intensity to you. I can feel that. I can definitely feel that intensity. You may also be like a kind of daredevil. You may do sports, certain things, which are quite, you know, quite dangerous in the respect of, like, I don't know, maybe not even dangerous, but something that puts you at risk. So you might do something that's quite out there, and it helps you like get to certain places. It helps you explore. You may do exploring. You may do like yeah, you may explore. You may go on like excursions. You may do things that it's all about the lived experience. Okay. You're very deep, powerful, very deep. You're very, you know, even though you do seem to like this kind of, I don't know, I feel like you're extroverted, or you may be ambivert, but you do like to be around people. And also this, yeah, you enjoy that, but there's a part of you that's very deep, very sacred, but it's beautiful. It's really beautiful. That gem is so gorgeous. Okay, let's have a little look at, yeah, these guys. Right. Dear Spirit, what does pile 4's inner child want to say to them? Sun in Cancer, resourcefulness. Interesting how we have Scorpio and we also have Cancer. I don't know, the first thing that came to me was home. Your home can be anywhere. It's almost like you're like, can you see? It's like a container. So the container holds everything. You don't have to have roots somewhere. You can kind of feel at home in many places. But sometimes that leaves you a little bit untethered, a little bit like lost in groundedness, I feel. And you being grounded is very important, particularly with this gem, you know, earth, soil, sand. I'm seeing beaches and sand. You may do something like surfing or swimming, or I don't know, I feel like you do like something that has an element of danger to it. But it's almost like where you feel at home the most. And it's very ancient and old. Because gems, they're exceptionally ancient and old. These are like hundreds of thousands of years old. They take hundreds of years, thousands of years to form. Under intense pressure. And whales, they're down in the depths. They're the oldest animals on this planet. And they go down to the depths. They kind of like percolate at the depths. And it's same with Scorpio. Scorpio is that kind of like the depths. Wow, pile 4. You deep, yo. Okay, so let's have a look at what the tarot says. To Spirit, what does pile 4's inner child want to say to pile 4? What does pile 4's inner child wants to say to pile 4? What does pile 4's inner child want to say to pile 4? The 9 of Cups. A lot, like all of you, you're all like, because the 9 of Cups has come up several times. It's all about fulfilling the wishes that you didn't get, you know, the wishes that you didn't have as a child. Dear Spirit, what does pile 4's inner child want to say to pile 4, the 8 of Cups? Yeah, there's difficulty to walk away as well from it. Oh wow. King of Cups reversed. 2 of Cups reversed. Okay. The Fool reversed. The Ace of Pentacles reversed. The Sun. The 5 of Wands. The Queen of Swords. The Star. The Spirit, what is called? Wow. That makes sense. Okay, right, so pile 4, you know, this wish that you wanted things to be a certain way, you wanted things to be, yeah, a certain way. You may not have been emotionally connected to your father. There may have been this sense of like outbursts, or maybe just not emotionally stable, maybe not in connection with his emotions. And this may have affected your ability to have relationships. Not even just relationships. I feel like all relationships manifest some kind of connection with another, which is interesting because you like being social by the looks, by what you picked with your initial card. The Fool reversed, it's almost like you deny yourself of that. You don't believe that that's a possibility for you. It's quite a recurrent theme over all of the readings. Like there's this denial of love. And you do tend to get obsessed with stuff. And I do feel that it may be on people. And there may be like some kind of narcotics involved. There's obsessions happening here. And I see it to do with like, yeah, some kind of party kind of vibe. And yeah, this sense of the tower not being reversed, not allowing yourself to let the tower crumble. There could be also a sense of you building things from it, but it's almost like the foundation is weak. It's not weak, it's not strong. The foundation is made out of nothing. Which explains that kind of flitty energy, which I could sense with this. It's very flitty, I'm not going to lie. It's very like non-committal. Butterfly, kind of very... which is ironic because you have these here. But, you know, I get a sense that maybe you're not seen as a person that wants to settle down. And your inner child is saying to you that, is that true? You're always chasing experiences, which is fine, But your inner child wants to say something to you. And what it wants to say is that, you know, the stability doesn't come from that. It's not stable. You're happy, you know, there's a sense of like being happy, being youthful. I definitely get this kind of like Leo vibe, this fire vibe of where I'm really happy, but really there's a massive conflict inside. And I don't know if there's this sense of being really cold with oneself, really kind of cutting with oneself, not allowing you to be vulnerable. Because I don't think you believe that there's true hope for you and being able to live the life that other people have, like the children or whatever. Not saying that that's what you want, but like there just seems this really non-committal energy. And but in the commitment of like you're too scared, which is just so ironic because you have this here. It's actually what you are. You need to be grounded and committed. You need to be like rooted. You need to be in the ground. This is an animal from the deep, from the depths. This is a stone that's down. It's formed in layers and layers of rock. This is a really deep, deep kind of aspect. But it's like you've almost gone completely against that. And your inner child is trying to bring you back to that. You don't have to lose that sense of yourself. You don't. In fact, you will enrich yourself in that way, but you have to be really clear about it. And I think you are going through that process right now. I think so. Because otherwise death wouldn't happen. But the tower is reversed, so there's still some work to be done. Let's see what these cards say. Dear Spirit, what pile one's pile 4's inner child want to say to pile 4? What does pile 4's inner child want to say to pile 4? Impasse. Yeah, you're at a turning point. You're at a decision. This is a decision. You're at a point where you have to decide what is it that you want. What do you want? I say that to my clients all the time. What do you want? Look at that. What do you want? Look at that. What do you want? Powerful. What do you want? Pile 4, what is Pile 4's inner child? Yeah, okay, I hear that. It's almost like you don't believe in yourself. You don't believe that you are worthy of this, but not even just that you are, that this is the life for you. It's almost like, oh, that's for everybody else. It's not true. It's not true, Pile 4. It's not true. Let's see what angelic messages there is for you. Wow, Archangel Michael, courage, strength and protection. You know what I get from that? Because like there's a couple of Michael cards in this deck, but from this particular one I feel like you have been divinely protected throughout like all of these experiences that you've been chasing, because I feel like you do some hair-raising stuff. I feel like you might do climbing, diving, stuff like that. And you are protected from that. And not only that, you're really courageous and strong. Like you stand up to things. This is Svadhisthana. This is creation. This is about you taking that choice to like decide, are you going to continue on this route of where you're like, you're just having these experiences, or are you going to be able to like give birth to something that's actually like rooted and grounded, that's intangible reality. And Archangel Michael is telling you, whatever way you go, you're protected. Whatever way you do that, whatever way you want to kind of move forward with that. And and it's interesting why you have this confidence card here. I just see a lot of like contradictions in this reading, Pile 4. It's almost like you're putting across this idea where you're one thing, but actually underneath there is like some serious serious conflict going on, serious lack of hope. And now you are facing a choice. You're facing a choice of whether or not it is that you're going to take that step into really making yourself happy. And you may think that it is like continuously having these experiences, but I don't know, something tells me that it doesn't. Something tells me that you still feel like something's missing, because otherwise this devil wouldn't be here, the upright. This devil would be reversed. This devil wouldn't even be here, Pile 4. It feels like you're sailing down denial. That's what it feels like. A bad joke, I know, but I really like dad jokes. Like it's that thing where you're sailing down the river, which is the Nile, but denial. You know, it's like, oh yeah, I'm just going to continue having experiences because this is life and this is what I do. Yeah, but you're not happy. I don't know. As I said, take only what resonates. Yeah, don't throw away the rest. If this reading isn't for you, it's not for you. Just click off and go and watch another reading or something else. But I'm just saying that this is the message I'm getting here, you know. And Scorpio's got an uncanny way of doing that, you know. I've got friends who are Scorpio, and they're really good at like being able to say, like, they sideline stuff. They're very good at it. They're very good, and I love them for it. To Spirit. So this is some advice. Magical spell cards. Oh, you got the same as Pile 4 or 3. Study. Let my mind be clear and strong. Let me study well and long. Let my mind be clear and strong. Let me study well and long. Let me study well. Let my mind be clear and strong. Let me study well and long. So, there's some things you have to look at. There's some things you have to analyze. I don't know, it's interesting. With Pile 3, it was more of a kind of like to gain knowledge about something, maybe academic, about a subject. This to me is about studying yourself. There's some shadow work that needs to be done here, Pile 4. Yeah, there's some shadow stuff. Are you ready to do it? Anyway, my darlings, let me pick a gemstone card for you. Uncle Jams. Oh, that one's pretty. What's that? Oh, fluorite, love that. I will grab my fluorite as I speak to you about this. So this is it's a beautiful piece of fluorite. Okay, so can I do this? All right, let's try. Here we go. Right. Structure, fluorite, organization, clear priorities. Structure can provide freedom, and fluorite helps organize your life from top to bottom, heightening your focus and releasing unnecessary stress. Fluorite assists with bringing clarity into your life, lifting your mental capabilities for crystal clear intuition and empowered decision making. By taking your discernment up a notch, fluorite protects against bad influences and psychic manipulation. Fluorite both grounds and lifts your energy, connecting your body to the earth and to higher spiritual awareness at the same time. Prioritize balance, and it's Capricorn, Pisces, and Mercury. We have Capricorn energy here. Just show you my beautiful stone. It's gorgeous. So, yeah, and that's not just purple, that's green. So I can see green, blue, and purple. I do love fluorite. It's such a beautiful stone and interesting, particularly with this deck, because the Mystic Mondays is very much like those kind of hues. And I do feel, look at that, with this Queen of Swords. I feel like you're a bit Ice Queeny. You are a bit Ice Queeny. Like emotions are a little bit like, yeah, I'm not really emotive. But that's because of this sense of this lack of love from this father side. Okay, right. Dear Spirit, what does Pile Falls Inner Child want to say to Pile 4? What does Pile Falls Inner Child want to say to Pile 4? Wow. Yeah, there's some death going on here. Death going on here. As herald of malaise or even decay, it is best the coffin stays out of your way. Your courage and assets both drain away. All of this happens without any delay. I mean, like, you know, I'm not reading this in the sense of the Lenormand, because that's a different way of reading. But in the respect of this, there is something that has to die, and something is dying. I really don't think that you would be here if you weren't at this space where you know that something has to end. And something is ending. It's almost like you don't have a choice. It has to end because you know that you want something different. And it's going to take some work in order for you to understand that. And I think you're doing it, Pile 4. I think you are. But I just want you to know that you're protected. This is the way that things are going. It is this kind of like almost like this journey into the underworld. And what I see your inner child holding your hand and leading you into this space and saying that you are going to be okay. You're going to be okay. And it's scary and it's dark, but they've got your hand and they're actually leading you. So listen to your inner child, whatever your inner child, and I know that you're thinking, oh yeah, your inner child might be that one that's like telling you to go and have new experiences and new things, but why? Spend some time and just maybe like be with your inner child and ask it what it really wants. Why, if it does want to go out to all of these places and have these new experiences, why, what does that mean? And that's what I feel like the study is. It's about like having a little look and an analysis of what's going on there in order to help you. Wow, powerful readings, Pile 4. And what a pleasure to read for you. I'm just thinking, is there any other messages? No, I think, once there's that recognition that what your inner child wants is just the best for you, and how you can work together in a symbiosis. Oh God, why do I always forget his name? There's a book called Homecoming by John. I've forgotten his surname, but it's about how, as adults we are ruled by our smaller selves. So, and about the little child who didn't get what they wanted. So we just end up becoming bigger. And then that mindset is actually what's ruling us. So it's about how do we integrate the adult you and also the child you together so that they both work together, so that you are essentially mothering, fathering yourself, parenting yourself in a way that helps you feel fulfilled. And that's really important, I feel. And I think that's the main message for this reading. So listen to your inner child and take care of your inner child, pile 4. Take care of it because it wants you to. I hope you enjoyed this reading, my darlings. You take care, and I shall speak to you soon in future readings. If you did like this reading, please do like it. Please do subscribe for more. I do post every day. But otherwise, see you soon. Bye.